Do you do you believe in ghosts or paranormal entities?
Wow, great question. So there's this podcast by this guy called Jack Wagner, called Other Worlds, I think it's called, or what's his name? Anyway, I never believed in this stuff.
Hmm.
And then just find the name of this podcast real quick. What was it called? The World, yeah, World, an Apple podcast. So it tells real stories of people who have experienced something paranormal or unexplainable. So I'm interested in this stuff as a phenomenon because I think it deserves our attention and our scrutiny. The fact is, over the course of human history, which goes for hundreds of thousands of years,
Right.
many people have experienced something that feels paranormal, and this stuff is woven into the fabric of our culture. So it's interesting to me to tease apart how much of it is stuff that our brain creates, and how much of it represents something that really happened. I think that our understanding of physics and of the universe is quite progressed, but nowhere near as far as it needs to be to discount for sure the possibility of things breaking our current understanding of physics.
Hmm.
I mean, even the Big Bang Theory is currently now being re-examined as potentially only a small part of a larger story of an almost endless universe that creates and disappears itself almost into eternity. I think that the rules we have around matter and around physical things, I think that it would be hard to imagine something violating those laws. So the idea of an ephemeral spirit that contains the, let's say, personality or kind of soul of like a human somehow existing in space time
Hmm.
without a body. I don't believe in that. But I think when we think about something like time and how our relationship in time, we sort of experience it in a one direction. But movies like Interstellar, which kind of play with the limits of theoretical physics and general relativity and talk about um, how space time can bend and warp and maybe even fold, perhaps there's something there. And perhaps in some moments, we can get closer to someone that we've loved or someone that, you know, maybe that time, maybe that curve can bend and we
Hmm.
can experience something like that. That's, I guess, where I've gotten to with it. But in terms of like spooky ghosts that like hang out and spook you, I don't believe in those.
What you're describing is that you would entertain the idea of multi-dimensions existing in the same place, right? That perhaps
Yeah,
could project these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the more we learn about general relativity, the more we realize that our intuitive understanding of space and time itself is wrong. That space time is this fabric that we live within that can be bent and folded and warped. And our perception in our lives as human beings is very limited. We are trapped constantly in this one view of time where
Hmm.
everything is immediate. We constantly live in the moment, but it's strongly now suggested by these models that space-time itself might even just be a huge block of time, starting from the beginning of the universe, reaching all the way to the end, and that much like a series of film rolls in a projector in a movie theater, we only see the image, but the film itself exists and it's there.
Right.
And so in that respect, that kind of multi-dimensional respect, it could be responsible for some ghosts. Who knows?
Well, now that you talk about the science of these things, I remembered watching a talk from this scientific Lee Smolin. I don't know if you're familiar with him. No, and this
Yeah.
book, Time Reborn, like, something like
Right on.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was an interesting topic about how time, as we understand it, or the laws of time, um, could overrule the laws of physics, and how
Yes.
we perceived.
Yeah. This is really cool. I should read this. I love this stuff.
I, reco-
This looks right up my alley.